Surprise, surprise, the European Commission and the United Kingdom have reached a political agreement on the UK's participation in Horizon Europe, the EU's research and innovation programme, but also Copernicus, the EU's world-leading Earth observation programme. President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, said, "The EU and UK are key strategic partners and allies, and today's agreement proves that point. We will continue to be at the forefront of global science and research." This mutually agreed solution follows in-depth discussions between the EU and the UK and will be beneficial to both, as they say. It will allow the EU and the UK to deepen their relationship in research, innovation and space, bringing together research and space communities. The agreement remains fully in line with the EU-UK Trade and Cooperation Agreement. The UK will be required to contribute financially to the EU budget and is subject to all the safeguards of the Trade and Cooperation Agreement. Overall, it is estimated that the UK will contribute almost £2.6 billion per year, euros on average, for its participation to both Horizon Europe and the Copernicus component of the space program. As of January 1st, 2024, researchers and organizations in the UK will be able to participate in Horizon Europe on par with their counterparts in EU member states and will have access to Horizon Europe funding. This will reinforce the opportunity to be part of a worldwide network of researchers and innovators aimed at tackling global challenges in climate, energy, mobility, digital, industry and space, but also health and more. Association to Copernicus will enable the UK's contribution to a strategically important space program with a state-of-the-art capacity to monitor the Earth and to access its services. Copernicus makes an essential contribution in reaching our European Green Deal and net zero objectives here in the EU, and the UK will also have to access to services from the EU space surveillance and tracking, a component of the EU space program. The political agreement must now be approved by the European Council before being formally adopted in the EU-UK Specialised Committee on Participation in Union Programmes. The UK association to certain EU programmes is governed by the Trade and Cooperation Agreement. The agreement on the Windsor framework earlier this year allowed the EU and the UK to open a new chapter in their partnership based on mutual trust and full cooperation. Words of the EU, I see it a bit differently there. Figures within government have previously suggested that Prime Minister Rishi Sunak was generally torn though. On the one hand, rejoining Horizon would help repair EU-UK relations and potentially play well with those who deeply dislike Brexit. On the other hand, Mr. Sunak was said to be keen to get value for money as well as build credibility with Leave supporters who might favour a clean break. The UK had been expected to remain associated with the scheme after Brexit, but it soon became apparent that Brussels was blocking Britain's return, and that for good reasons. That's because the EU was angry at the government's failure to fully implement a deal on post-Brexit arrangements for Northern Ireland. They just broke the treaty there. Until that issue was resolved, it was clear that Horizon Association would not be possible. Then, in February, Rishi Sunak signed a deal with the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, and that was the Windsor framework. That paved the way for talks on Horizon, which looks as though they are finally reaching their culmination with the press release of the European Commission now. It's a further moment of reconciliation between the UK and the EU following the bitter disputes over Brexit that followed the 2016 Leave vote. Horizon Europe is the EU's key funding programme for research and innovation. It has a budget of €95.5 billion for the period 21 to 27, making it the world's largest research and innovation programme. The programme aims to tackle climate change and help to achieve the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. It also wants to boost the EU's competitiveness and growth. It wants to facilitate collaboration and strengthen the impact of research and innovation in developing, supporting, and implementing EU policies. and it wants to create a better diffuse excellent knowledge and technologies. Horizon Europe is structured around 3 pillars. The first one is excellence. This pillar supports top quality research, including fundamental research, advanced research, and industrial research. The second is global challenges and industrial competitiveness. This pillar supports research and innovation that addresses major global challenges such as climate change, health, and security. It also supports research and innovation that will boost the competitiveness of European industry. And the third is Innovative Europe. This pillar supports the development and commercialization of new technologies and solutions. It also supports the creation of new businesses and the growth of existing businesses. In addition to these 3 pillars, Horizon Europe also includes a number of specific initiatives. One is the European Innovation Council. The EIC is a new initiative that provides seed funding and other support to high-risk, high-potential startups. And then there are the European partnerships. The European partnerships are long-term research and innovation initiatives that bring together researchers, businesses, and other stakeholders to address major challenges. And then there are the missions. The missions are a new type of initiative that focus on achieving ambitious goals in specific areas such as climate change, cancer, and healthy oceans. Horizon Europe is open to researchers, businesses, and other organizations from all over the world. However, there are some eligibility criteria that must be met. For example, legal entities must be established in an EU member state or 2 Horizon Europe associated countries. And there are some very interesting specific projects that already have been funded by Horizon Europe. One is a project to develop new vaccines against cancer, or a project to create a new type of solar cell that is more efficient and, more importantly, affordable, and a project to develop new ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from transportation, or a project to create a new type of battery that can store more energy, and a project to develop new ways to grow food in a sustainable way. And those were just a few examples of the many projects that are being funded by Horizon Europe. The program is helping to make a real difference in the world, and it is open to researchers, businesses, and other organizations from all over the world. And that's the reason why the UK finally got their U-turn there after always discussing the part with opening something new where their own researchers said, no, we don't want something of our own. We want to be in Horizon Europe. And it seems now the Commission has said yes yet. Yeah, we have to. The Commission has said yes, but the Council hasn't said yet. Yes, yet. English is such a difficult language. And so we still have to wait for the final decision here. But I think this agreement shows that Torn Rishi has decided for one side here. But we will know when the final decisions are made. I will let you know when that is. It's some see it only as a formality, but there's a German proverb that says, I've seen horses barf in front of a chemistry, and that means I've seen everything in my life. And so nothing is fixed until it is over. And so I will wait until the European Council has said yes before I say it is complete now. That's why I'm that cautious in the end of the video, but generally it's over. But nevertheless, there are some formal decisions to be made, and we have to wait for them before we can say done. But if you want to know something else about Brexit or UK current politics, the next video is right here on the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.